Welcome to day 7 of our prenatal yoga. Please join me here on your mat. We're going to begin in standing, but be sure to have a set of blocks nearby. They're going to help support us in any of our standing postures, especially since our sort of center of gravity is a little bit forward with our bellies. We want to just create a little bit more support for ourselves. So blocks will help, and of course our bolster and blanket for our shavasana at the end. But when you're ready, come to stand about center on your mat. I'm turned sideways on my mat. You may want to as well for what we're going to move into. But when you're ready, start to simply just feel your feet. Feel them connecting to the earth. Go ahead and gently roll your shoulders back. Maybe let your head be nice and soft on top. Feel your eyes become heavy and maybe even feel that space where the upper and lower eyelid meet. If it doesn't feel comfortable to close your eyes today, feel free to keep them open, but just sort of soften your gaze. Try not to focus on any one particular thing. And then begin by just simply taking a few big rounds of breath. 1, 2, 3, however many feel good in your body. Just bringing you here to connect to that physical presence. Might feel good to rest your hands on your belly. Connect to that little being. Good, and then when you're ready, start to softly open your eyes, adjusting to the light. Good. All right, let's let our feet widen just a little bit, and feel free to keep your feet wide throughout your practice. We again want to keep that balance. We want to feel safe and centered. But with our feet just a little bit wider, we're going to circle our hips. So hands on our hips, find a little bit of softness in the knees. Let's go ahead and find a clockwise direction. So let your hips slide to the right. Let them draw back behind you, over to the left, and then forward. Good. Again, keeping those knees soft. You can deepen the bend as much as feels good in your body. Okay, but try and let it be fluid. Find that motion in your body. We want to find the fluidity. Good. All right, and the next time that those hips slide to the right, let's switch the direction, counterclockwise. Good. And of course, it might feel good to start out a little small, get a little bit bigger, and then again, come back to a little bit smaller. Good breathing. Last 2. Good, and the next time that those hips circle around, come on back up through center, through neutral. And let's go ahead and widen our legs, just a comfortable distance apart, usually about a leg's length if that feels good. Again, be sure that your blocks are nearby, a little bit within reaching distance. We're gonna get a little lower, so they'll become a little bit more easy to reach. But when you're ready, draw your heels in, toes out. Good, start to deepen the bend in your knee. You might even shift and slide a little side to side as you start to sink down. And then go ahead and find your hands on your thighs. Good, come as low as you can comfortably. Again, that deep bend in the knees, the bum is back. We want to roll the weight a little bit more towards the pinky blades of our feet. So our knees are pressing out towards the pinky side. Good, and then from here, if you're feeling strong and stable, again, draw the baby, hug it in towards the spine as you start to lengthen up through the torso. It might mean you come up and out slightly. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead and open our arms into cacti. So let the elbows be in line with the shoulders and palms face forward. Good. If this is too much, again, feel free to let the hands rest on the thighs. But if it feels okay, shoulders drop away from the ears, maybe elbows drop back slightly, so we're opening the front of the chest. Good. Big full breath in. Big full breath out. 2 more just like this. Let that heart shine forward. Good, last one. Beautiful. If you need a little bit of a release through the legs, press the feet, squeeze in through the inner thighs. Again, baby to spine, lengthen up, open the arms out to T. Good, and then sink on down, hands on thighs. Good, so again, coming back to that low space here. We're gonna open up through our shoulders and groin a little bit deeper. So as we inhale, extend through the crown, chest might lift a little bit. And as we exhale, left shoulder draws forward, bend the right elbow. Belly's gonna hang here, it's perfectly okay. Inhale, come on back up through center, and then switching sides. Right shoulder forward, bend that left elbow. Inhale to come up. Exhale, switching sides. Left shoulder forward. Good, feel that bum reach back. Inhale back. Exhale right. Good. One more, each side. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale through center. Exhale, right shoulder. Good. Inhale, back through center. Good. Gather your strength. So again, press the feet, squeeze in through the inner thighs, baby hugs in towards the spine. Maybe those hands slide up. Good. Awesome. All right, from here, we're gonna pivot our feet. So toes are gonna draw forward and heels are gonna turn out ever so slightly. So again, you can play with the distance, feet a little wider, feet a little narrow. But we're gonna come into a forward fold. So hands are gonna draw back behind us, interlacing our fingers. Roll the shoulders, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Begin to lift the chest, extend through the crown. Good, hold here. If you choose to stay here, please do, especially if you're maybe further along in towards the 3rd trimester and it doesn't feel good to let the head go below the heart, then stay up tall, breathing, squeezing elbows together. If you'd like to come deeper, start to soften the knees, hinge at the hips, let the heart come forward and hold at jackknife. So torso about parallel to the floor, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but hold here, elbows squeeze in. Crown of the head lengthens forward so the chin is nice and neutral, gaze down towards the floor. We're pressing the bum back, heart forward. We're opening up through the backs of the legs. Good. If it feels okay, release the interlaced fingers. Let the arms start to float down. Find those lovely blocks. Slide them underneath the shoulders and maybe find the highest height. Good. So from here, I'm still lifting the chest, extending through the arms, reaching through the crown, pressing my sits bones back, pressing the feet and squeezing in through the inner thighs. Good, big breath in. Full breath out. Good, if you want to go deeper and find that full sort of fold here where the forehead can lower towards the floor, you're welcome to do so. Take your time as you come out though. Good, and of course that's just an option. Maybe if you're closer to that 1st trimester, but mindful of any sort of nausea. Good, one more big breath here. Good, and then with our hands on the blocks, we're gonna gently find the right block a little bit closer towards center. Press the feet, squeeze in, reach through the crown. Right hand's gonna stay on the block as you start to open the left arm out to the side and up overhead. Good, so don't worry about reaching that left shoulder all the way back. It's a journey, so take your time. Good. Begin to slowly lower that left hand down, finding the left block. And then go ahead, draw that left hand and block a little bit closer towards the center. Good. From here, again, extend through the crown, Bum presses back, heart forward. Inhale, right arm out to the side and up overhead. So a little bit of a twist here, not forcing, not pushing. Try and keep your hips square, nice and even. So this left hip likes to drop as the right hip lifts. We want to keep that even weight between both hips. One more breath. Good, and then slowly turning the torso back down through center. Hands on blocks, blocks underneath the shoulders. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna gently walk our hands and blocks over towards the right. Again, we're gonna stay lifted, reach through the crown, but press into this right foot. So feel the back of this right leg start to lengthen. Good. And then as we inhale, walk those hands and blocks back to the left. Good, really pressing that left foot into the floor. Still feeling the connection of the right, so both legs active, but a deeper stretch through the left hamstring. Good. These blocks are gonna journey with us throughout the practice today. So when you're ready, start to come on back through center. Good. Bend the knees a little bit here. You can leave the blocks as they are. Find one hand on the thigh, opposite hand can follow. Good. Start to press the feet, squeeze in. Again, hug baby towards the spine. Come all the way up. Good. And then we're going to start to pivot both feet towards the right. So right set of toes are going to turn towards the top of the mat. This back left foot, we're going to come up onto the toes and our hips are going to square. So soften into the knees. This will help create a little bit more space. And then lift that back left heel. Turn hips and torso towards the center. And we're already here in our crescent lunge. So deepen the bend in the right leg. Maybe you wiggle those toes forward. Maybe they stay as they are. Left leg presses back. Good. From here, when you're ready, inhale the arms forward and up, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders. Maybe lift the gaze if that feels okay. Good, but feel this left hip drawing forward, right hip back, pressing through that left heel. Good, one more big breath. Good, start to lower the hands. Let them come down towards your hips. Good, we're gonna roll this left hip, left heel back. Good, start to turn the right toes forward. Turn the left toes towards the top of your mat. And just as we did on the opposite side, this time back leg, we're gonna roll up onto the toes, heels lift. Bend the left leg. You can wiggle it forward if you need a little more. You can drop back if it's a little too much. Again, square your hips, right hip forward, left hip back. Press back through that right heel. Maybe deepen the bend in the left knee. But when you're ready, inhale, arms forward and up. Crescent lunge on this side. So again, shoulders roll back, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Strong arms, but of course if there's any sort of tension in the shoulders and neck, you might just simply draw your hands to prayer. If it feels okay, one more big breath here. Good. Start to lower the hands. Again, find your hips. Start to roll that back right heel. Good, hips start to turn forward. Turn those back left toes. Good, from here, right toes face forward. Good, we're gonna come into our triangle pose. So with this back left foot, pinky edge is gonna be square to the short edge of our mat. You might find a block and in preparation, put it just to the inside of that right foot or shin. Good, from here, bend into the right leg just for a moment. Ease in, ease out. Good. And then as you come up, start to lift the left hip, lower the right hip. You should feel that little crease where the right thigh meets the right hip. Good. Open your arms out into T. Good. Reach the right arm forward, get long through the torso, and then simply lower right hand down, finding your block. Good. Fingertips, knuckles, or palm. Left arm draws up. Good. If it feels okay, gently roll this left shoulder back as you look up towards this left thumb. It's going to help open across the chest. Big breath in and full breath out. Good. From here, start to lower the left hand down towards the left hip. Maybe soften into this right knee just a little bit. Pressing into that right leg. Start to lift the torso. Right arm's gonna float. And we're gonna come up. Good. From here, we're gonna switch sides. So you're welcome to take your block as you move your toes. Place it to the inside of that left foot or ankle. Good. Again, maybe bend into this left knee a couple of times, easing in and out. Our hips are facing forward here, so pelvis is more open than when we were in our crescent lunge. But once you come up, right hip lifts, left hip lowers. So again, that little crease where the thigh meets the hip, that's where we want to feel that little movement. From here, arms open out into T. Reach the left arm. Good. Come as far as you can, and then lower down. Left hand finds the block. Right arm up towards the sky. Good. Again, take a peek at the thumb. It's going to help roll that right shoulder, right side of the chest. We're pressing the feet, squeezing in, holding baby to the spine, and breathing. All right, turn your gaze back forward to help with balance. Press the feet, squeeze in, let this top right hand help draw you back up. Good, and lower the arms. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and move that block. From here, again, toes are gonna pivot. We're gonna draw the right toes to face forward towards that short end of the mat. Left leg, we're gonna turn our toes in about 45 degrees. So heel out, toes in. Good, finding our warrior two. So again, hips and pelvis are open. Start to bend into the front right leg, knee over heel or ankle. Good. Lift the chest as you extend and open the arms, reaching them in opposite directions. Good. From here, start to settle in, start to bring your gaze over that front right arm. And see if you can soften in the face. Maybe even let those outer corners of your mouth start to turn up. And then from here, start to bend into this front right arm. Start to lower the forearm down to find this right thigh. Good. If it's a little too far, you can always rest the hand. But if you can, try and find elbow and forearm onto the thigh. This left arm, we're gonna draw it up and over alongside the ear. So think about breathing into this left side of our rib cage. Good. Belly and baby might be shifting a little bit. So breathe in. Good, and then when you're ready, again, gather strength, press feet down, squeeze in through the inner thighs, hug baby to spine, start to lift the torso, let this left arm draw you back up, lower the hands, straighten that right leg, turn the toes. Good. Shift to the other side. So left toes towards the short end. Legs are gonna stay nice and open here, so you can shorten the distance if you need to, but this back right leg, toes are gonna turn in, heel out. Good. From here, bend into this left knee. You can shorten, you can lengthen the distance, whatever feels good. But again, open pelvis, so press this right hip back. Open arms out into T. Stack shoulders over hips. Good. Make any sort of little micro movements or adjustments if needed. And then from here, start to turn your gaze over the left arm. Soften the shoulders. Relax the face. Good. One more breath. And then from here, start to bend the front left arm. Start to lower that left elbow and forearm. Right arm will rise. It's all good. Rest once you find that left thigh. Right arm is going to come up and over. Good. Again, breathe into the right side of our body. Good. One more big breath. Good. And then pressing the feet, squeeze in, hug baby to spine as you start to lift that right side of our body and torso. Come on back up. Arms out into T, and then lower back down. Good work. Turn your toes to face forward, heels in a little bit. Let's go ahead and step our feet together. Good. We're going to find one little balancing pose here. So when you're ready, find your feet on the earth. We're going to shift our weight into that left leg. Let there be a little bit of softness. Good. Start to pick up the right foot. Let that right leg cross over, and we're going to place it around the left leg. Let's go ahead and start to sit down a little bit here. Just a little or a lot, your choice. Arms can come forward. Right arm underneath the left. Maybe forearms start to press towards each other. Maybe you grab a hold of the shoulders. Good. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. One more. Good. Pressing into that left leg. Start to release the arms. Maybe hands find the hips as you press into the foot. Come on out, stepping up and releasing the right leg. I always like a little release. I feel my feet really grip. Sometimes they even start to cramp a little bit. So release if you need to. And then when you're ready, second and final side for our balancing posture. So eagle on the right side, we're gonna lean to the right. Good. Start to bend into that right knee. Pick up the left foot, cross the left leg over the right. Start to sit a little deeper if that feels okay. Arms can float forward and up, bending at the elbows. Left arm underneath the right. Maybe back of the forearms. Maybe you're wrapping. Maybe grabbing a hold of the shoulders. Good. Wherever you are, feel that bum sink. Let it get heavy. Lift the chest. Lift through the crown. One more big breath. Good. Release the arms. Let them unfurl. Maybe find your hips. Press into that standing right leg. Start to lengthen up. Release the left leg off the right. Good. Wiggle your toes. Release. Shake out any shoulders, any tension. Relax your jaw. Good. All right. From here, find your way to the top of your mat and let your feet be about a little bit wider. Take up as much space as feels good in your body. Let's go ahead, inhale your arms out to the side, up overhead, reach. Feel really long, really tall. And then as we exhale, soft knees, hinge at the hips. Come on forward, all the way here. Good, make space for the belly. Let your forehead hang. Let the crown of the head be heavy. Good, and again, your hands can rest wherever feels best. Thighs, shins, feet, maybe even using your blocks again. Good. Let's release a little tension. Give your head a little shake, a little nod, maybe press into the feet. And then when you're ready, soften into the knees. Bend as deeply as needed in order to find your hands on the mat. Maybe lean to one side as you start to step or walk, and then lower down into table. Good. From here, let's find our cat and cow. So as we inhale, start to lift the sitting bones, lower the belly, shoulders away as you gaze forward. And this time as we exhale, start to round the pelvis. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Arch the back and tuck the chin. As we inhale, relax the pelvis. Lengthen through the front body. Stretch and open. Good. Again, exhale, round. Pull in and up through the pelvic floor. Pull in that navel and baby to the spine. Inhale to lengthen. Good, let's do one more each direction. Let any sort of tension you're holding in your spine, let it release. Open up the back and the glutes. Good, inhale. And then find your way into neutral, that space in between. Good. From here, release the shoulders, wiggle into the hips, find a little bit of softness in the body. Tucking all 10 toes under. Find a little bit of softness in the elbows. Start to lift the knees, lift the hips. Come all the way up and back. Keep your knees as bent as feels good. And then from here, lean to the left so you can walk this right leg wide, maybe wiggle it forward, find it in between the hands, and then lower that back left knee. You can untuck the toes, make space for the belly. So if that means that that right foot is on the outside of the right hand, that's perfectly okay. Let's go ahead and walk the right hand up onto the right thigh. Torso can follow. Good. Once I come up, then I like to wiggle that right foot forward. Let those hips maybe lower a little bit, but keep that engagement, that left hip forward, right hip back. One big breath here. Good. As we inhale, press and reach. And as we exhale, come on forward. Lower the left hand to the mat. Start to slide that right leg back. Come on down onto palms. Let's go ahead, tuck all 10 toes under. Press into the hands, lift the hips. Keep the legs bent, maybe even open the knees wide. Lengthen the legs to the best of your ability. And then leaning to the right, let's step this left foot wide. You can wiggle it, might come to the outside of that left foot. It's perfectly okay, or left hand, sorry. Right knee's gonna lower. You can untuck the toes. Slowly start to walk yourself up onto this left thigh. Press that left hand, lift your torso. Good. Again, maybe come up and out, and then start to sink the hips, keeping the hips square. Right hip forward, left hip back. Left hand might rest on the thigh. Hand can rest on your belly or alongside the body. Take 2 big breaths here. Opening the front of our hip and psoas, our hip flexor. Good, and then again, start to hinge at the hips, come forward. Right hand might find the floor, left can follow. We're gonna slide that left leg wide and come into tabletop. Good. From here, we're simply gonna turn so that we're seated about center on our mat. Good. You can release your blocks if they're in the way. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and let your legs open a little bit wide here. It's going to be different for each person. A little narrow, a little wider, whatever feels best in your body. Flex through the feet. So press out through the heels, toes draw back. Let there be as much softness behind the knees as feels good. Press into the sitting bones, lift up through the crown, relax the shoulders. Good. This might be enough right here as it is. Good. You might hinge a little bit, coming forward, but try and keep that heart drawing forward, making space for the belly. Good. We're not rounding here, we're keeping it long and tall. One more big breath. Good. From here, press, lengthen up, slide those shoulders to again stack over the hips. Let the left hand come down. Let's go ahead, inhale our right arm up and over as you slide and lean a little to the left. One breath. And then pressing into that left hand, let the right arm help draw you back up. Switching sides, right hand comes down, left arm up and over, slide and lean to the right. Good, and then again, press into that right hand, lift up through the crown, come on back up, lower the hands. Good, last movement, draw the feet towards each other, let the soles come to touch. Good, you're in control of the intensity here. The closer the heels are to the pelvis, a little bit more intense, further away, a little bit easier. But wherever you are, try and think about lifting the chest, shoulders down the back, head, neck, and jaw relaxed. Good, we're gonna stay tall here to begin. So connect back to the breath, back to the baby. Good, and then as we inhale, lengthen and lift. As we exhale, maybe the chest comes a little bit forward. Again, that belly forward, not squishing, trying to keep length. Relax the chin. On your next inhale, press into the sitting bones, lift the chest, maybe walk the hands. Good, come back to that tall spine. And from here, start to tuck the chin, bow the forehead. Feel the back of the neck. Perhaps start to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Back through center. Left ear, left shoulder. Back through center. One more each side, just releasing any tension or tightness through the cervical spine. Good, come back through center. Breathe into the back of the neck. And then as we inhale, lift the forehead, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Good, again, maybe open the eyes. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up for Shavasana. So again, if you're working with the first or second trimester, feel free to build your little reclining chair here, setting your blocks up. First one horizontal on the middle setting, second one on the lowest setting, vertical. Finding your cushion, we're gonna place bolster onto our props, setting us up into about a 45-degree angle, still allowing for some space. And then from here, walk yourself back. Allow the head, neck, and shoulders to be supported. Maybe feel the shoulders rolling wide, perhaps even the palms turning up. Nice gentle heart opener here and supported back body. You're welcome to stay. And for those of us in the third trimester, we're going to set ourselves up even more comfortable. We're going to place our bolster in between our knees. One block can act as our pillow. We're going to come on down onto the left side, allowing our vena cava to stay open to keep the blood flowing to our heart. Bolster in between the knees, maybe the blankie underneath that left side to help support and lift the belly. If it feels okay, simply rest here on your left side. And take this time to release and let go. Release and let go any control of our breath or the physical practice. And settle in to the place of deep relaxation, an opportunity to connect to the body, the breath, and the baby. And if your day or evening allows for you to stay longer and the body requests a little bit more rest, please feel free to stay. And if you're complete, when you are, begin to gently, mindfully start to find your way back up into seated. No rush to get there. Take your time. And then coming up into that comfortable tall spine, whatever your seated position looks like. Let your heart lift. Find your hands on your belly. Take a few connecting breaths here. And slowly find your hands coming together at your heart center, palms touching in Anjali Mudra, the sign of gratitude. Lifting the heart, tucking the chin ever so slightly. I thank you all for joining me here today on your mat and for the 7 classes together. Take good care. Namaste.